Hey, you guys. All right. I want to talk about letting go of expectations. So difficult to do sometimes, right? I know this for a fact because I am the queen of expectations. I have had high expectations for myself, like probably from when I was like in second grade or first grade. I don't know. Early on, I always had these high expectations of myself for school, being an athlete, for softball, for volleyball. Even now, like as a business owner, I even have expectations for everybody else, my brothers, my family. I'm like, this is the expectation. If we're not meeting it, then we're failing. And that's been the mindset I've had for a really long time, but expectations is something that I've worked on for a while now, and I've gotten a lot better at it. I'm definitely not perfect at letting go of expectations, but I've found when we let go of expectations, it just frees ourselves to do the things that we want, and success ends up falling right into our lap. So just to share a little story about expectations, in college, I expected myself to excel. I expected myself to be a starting player. I expected myself to be an amazing hitter, a great catcher, the best catcher. And when my hitting did not exceed my expectations for a whole 3 years, so my freshman, sophomore, and junior year of college, I was well below my expectations of hitting. I was actually hitting like 130 or something like that, which is pretty rough if you know baseball and softball statistics. Anyway, so I was falling short of my expectations. I was frustrated. I was angry with myself. I was sad. I cried a ton, and it was just awful. I was just like in this cycle of awfulness. And it wasn't until my senior year when I finally was able to let go of expectations. And the way that I did this was I had these new commitments for myself. One, I was just gonna give it my all, and I was gonna have a lot of fun. A lot of fun was the difference there. I was giving it my all this time. That was no different, but I was committing to have fun because this was my last year. This was my last chance to play, my last memories out on the field, my last time getting to be an athlete in a competitive environment. So I was gonna give it my all and have a lot of fun. And then B, I just told myself, whatever happens, happens. No matter what the results are, no matter what the outcomes are, those expectations, I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like, whatever happens, happens. And that might sound a little crazy to you guys, like, oh, like she doesn't really care. Trust me, I cared. I cared a lot. Like I was telling you, those expectations have always been incredibly high for myself. And I don't think it's about, it's not like you're not gonna, like, you don't, it's very hard to articulate, because as athletes, we should have expectations of ourselves, and we should want more, and that is totally fine. But I want you to just think of it in a different way. Okay, so let's think of another example here. I would go up to my at-bats, especially in a pressure situation where runners are in scoring position. It's my job to get a hit and score my teammates so that we can score runs and win the game, okay? I would go up there being like, oh, like, gosh, I need to get a hit. I have to get a hit, or else I'm going to get pulled, or else we're not going to score, or I'm a failure. I'm not going to meet those expectations. Those were the thoughts I was having. Instead of the thing that shifted for me my senior year, and the way that I think about pressure situations and things that we have to do or we need to do, is I'm changing it to, I get to go get that hit. I have an opportunity to go do this. Like, how cool, how exciting is that I get to be the person to do that. And I have put so much work in. Like, I can do this. I was meant for this. I was made for this. And it's just that simple shift in thinking about that expectation, right? The expectation is to get a hit, right? Instead of I need to, I have to, it's I get to. How cool is that? And then go out there and crush it. It's more of this excited, this opportunity, this gratitude, like grateful for the opportunity kind of thinking rather than I need to and I have to. Okay. Getting to play sports and be an athlete is a privilege, right? It's something that like we're given and like we get to do that. So I want you to start thinking about it a little bit differently. I also want to mention that we are all different and we got to figure out what makes us tick. Maybe those expectations, maybe those things are really good for you. And when you're like, oh, like if you don't get a hit, like you're not eating tonight, I don't know. Then if that works for you, keep doing that. That didn't work for me. And I had to think about it in a different way. And I had to start telling myself different things like, oh, like, I don't even care who's out there on the mound. I'm getting a hit no matter what. I can touch anything that girl throws me, right? Or I get to go do this. How freaking cool is that? Like we're all different and we got to figure out what makes you tick. And I'm challenging you to think about like, what do you have to lose? If you're already feeling stuck or if you're already in a slump or you just feel like you're in this rut and can't get out, what do you have to lose by having a different mindset about these expectations? What do you have to lose if you, for a weekend, tried to let go of those expectations and said, okay, I'm going to just give it my all. I'm going to have fun. Whatever happens, happens. Like, what if you tried that out? I mean, it's not going to, if you do horribly that weekend, it's not like anything really changed, right? So try, and I'm challenging you to just try to think about some things differently, shifting your perspective, okay? So that's my challenge to you. I can't wait to hear about it. Oh, I'm like super fired up. And side note, I still have the photo entry going on. So the athlete photo entry. So if you haven't submitted a photo, I am sharing your guys' photos and stories to inspire other girls and athletes. And it's so cool to see all these photos of you guys in different situations, whether it's feeling that success or celebrating with your teammates or in like that focus visualization, taking that deep breath mode, any of those, like if you have a really cool photo, submit it in the photo entry so that you can possibly be shared on my social media so that you can inspire others. Like how cool is that, right? Have an amazing rest of your week and I will see you all soon.